Coming up next, a new mixed reality system is helping Penn State researchers turn science fiction into fact.
Plus, a Penn State classic returns to the Arboretum as Halloween draws closer.
And the Center County Sports Hall of Fame has its newest members, including a legendary Penn State broadcaster. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Clipper.
And I'm Madison Schmidt. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. We begin with a developing story. A local school district closed all its schools today as a security precaution. Penns Valley sent a message to families this morning that schools were closed because of a non-specific threat written on a wall in the high school. The district said the high school would be inaccessible until it was cleared by a state police team. There's no update yet on the situation.
Another big story we're following. Penn State has seen a disturbing increase in hazing reports this fall, with the number doubling from last year. Reporter Isabella Cahill is live on campus with more on the story. Isabella?
Thanks, Dave. Here at Penn State University, officials are worried about the increasing report of hazing and heavy drinking, especially at off-campus Greek life houses. Now they're reaching out to families and students about the issue. In a recent email to parents and families, Penn State University is drawing attention to a serious issue. Reports of hazing have doubled compared to this time last year. The university says part of the problem is unrecognized fraternities in State College, Pi Kappa Sigma and Sigma Chi. They don't fall under the university's jurisdiction, but Penn State is working with State College police on these issues. I'm here at Frat Row, where many students received an email about anti-hazing here at Penn State and the dangers of it if the cycle continues. The email to students' families asks parents to talk with their kids about hazing and high-risk drinking. The university stresses the importance of community in addressing hazing. We must work together to protect our students, the email concludes. Penn State remains committed to creating a safe environment for all. Hazing has been a key focus at Penn State since the death of student Tim Piazza in 2017. That led to the creation of the Piazza Center for Fraternity and Sorority Research and Reform. The university says it's received more than 70 fraternity and sorority life-related reports of conduct issues this semester. We contacted Penn State's Interfraternity Council about this story, and they refused to comment. I'm live on campus. I'm Isabella Cahill, and now back to you.
Thanks, Isabella. Election Day is just 2 weeks away, and both presidential campaigns are focused heavily on Pennsylvania. They're also increasingly relying on surrogates to help spread their messages and connect with voters, especially those on college campuses. Reporter Grace Eckerly has the story.
From political figures like Barack and Michelle Obama to celebrities like Bruce Springsteen and Elon Musk, political surrogacy has skyrocketed in popularity this election season. This trend has become popular among candidates from both Democratic and Republican parties as they tap into the influence of well-known figures like other politicians, celebrities, and community leaders to reach a broader audience. Campaign insiders say surrogates can make the candidate's platform feel more relatable. They can help bridge gaps with specific groups and demographics that might not engage directly with the candidates.
We've heard a lot this election season about the importance of winning the battleground state of Pennsylvania. And on a college campus as large and diverse as Penn State, it's drawing a lot of attention from big names in Washington.
Just within the past few days, former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez appeared at events in State College to encourage people to vote. Their visits highlight the importance of candidate surrogacy, especially among younger voters. Earlier this month, conservative internet personality Charlie Kirk hosted a pro-Trump rally on Penn State's campus. But presidential candidates Donald Trump and Kamala Harris have not made stops in the area, focusing their efforts elsewhere in Pennsylvania.
I think it's really important as a Pennsylvanian. I have to think about our future. I have personal issues. I'm a woman. I need to be a good citizen.
Targeting college campuses like Penn State for voter outreach is a strategic move. Both campaigns are actively focused on younger voters, a group that doesn't tend to vote as much as their older counterparts. But that younger demographic could make a big difference in such a close election.
It's easy to not do it, especially if you're a student. Life is busy. You can forget about it. Tests are stressful, such and such. So hopefully with whoever's here, and if there's anyone undecided, hopefully they'll hear a message and, I don't know, maybe get excited.
In State College, I'm Grace Eckerly for the Center County Report.
More election events are scheduled locally in the coming days. Today, the Team Trump bus tour will visit Medler Field in State College. And next week, controversial speakers Milo Yiannopoulos and Martin Shkreli will be at Penn State's Bryce Jordan Center with the group Uncensored America.
The presidents of the Penn State College Democrats and Republicans will debate tonight on campus at the Hub. For the first time, Presidents Ryan Klein of the College of Republicans and Baybars Charkas of the College Democrats are set to square off, representing their respective beliefs and policies. Charkas told us how the debate came about.
In April of 2023, I was elected president of the Penn State College Democrats, and Ryan Klein shortly thereafter was elected president of the Penn State College Republicans. And we decided as a policy that we would have close professional relationships with one another. We thought that it would be good for us to talk with one another, to exchange ideas, and to collaborate where we could collaborate.
Tonight's debate starts at 6 p.m. at the Freeman Auditorium on the University Park campus.
For the second time in a month, TSA agents found a loaded gun at the State College airport in a man's carry-on baggage. When the gun was found, TSA notified the police, who then allowed the man to leave the airport with his gun, but he could face civil penalties up to $15,000. During the first 9 months of this year, more than 5,000 guns have been intercepted at TSA checkpoints around the country.
There's no acceptable excuse claiming that you forgot that you had your gun with you. That's part of being a responsible gun owner. Just knowing where it is at all times, so knowing that you should not bring one to an airport checkpoint.
If passengers do want to fly with their gun, it needs to be unloaded in a locked, hard-sided case and then taken to the airport check-in counter where you declare that you want to fly with it.
A very different kind of weapon is getting attention from Penn State researchers. They're embarking on an $8 million project to identify potential threats in mixed reality systems that could shape the future of defense technology. Antonio Fondacaro takes a closer look.
That's no on fire.
A team of Penn State researchers are leading a new $8 million project to identify threats in mixed reality systems. It may sound like science fiction, but it's very real.
So by a mixed reality system, it means the system mixes the virtual world, like virtual reality, and the physical world.
The project involves DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, which is looking into future combat and defense scenarios where mixed reality is used.
What's the worst that could happen, right? So if you imagine someone penetrates the security of the system, one obvious thing they could do is just disable it, right? But that's just, soldiers are going to take the headset off, they're fine. But what could happen that's worse?
Penn State professor Jonathan Dodge is one of the researchers on the project.
So for example, maybe you can, on the screen, have like a flashbang that now they're unable to return fire, for example. Or alternatively, they might be able to, if the system, for example, is helping determine who is friendly and who is foe, if you reassign that, now they're firing on their teammates.
Attackers may be able to change the perception of users of the physical world. And then there are a couple of other things, such as the attacker may be able to change the physiology of users over the long term when they use this kind of systems.
This is an example of one of the headsets used in the DARPA project. Military personnel or search and rescue personnel can use this to see a simulation in the room they're standing in. The simulation itself is broadcasted through this phone, which I can see through the headset. Uses for MR can range from military to law enforcement to search and rescue.
I'm in charge of developing the search and rescue test bed. So basically, like the human users can see the virtual adversaries and virtual hostages in the real world.
The project is expected to last 3 years. In University Park, I'm Antonio Fondacaro for the Center County Report.
The project also involves 3 other universities: Kennesaw State, Georgia State, and USC.
Plans are moving forward for a new housing complex in State College at Westerly Parkway. The proposed retreat at Westerly would include 142 units and more than 500 bedrooms on an 11-acre site along Wapelani Drive. Amenities include a clubhouse, pool, and more. No businesses currently operate in the section of the plaza set for development. State College's Design Review Board and Planning Commission will review the proposal next month.
Still to come on the Center County Report. Will this nice weather continue all week? We check the 7-day forecast.
Plus, the new inductees to the Center County Sports Hall of Fame. Also coming up, a popular Center County Halloween event that drew in hundreds of students and visitors over the weekend.
Clearwater Conservancy has received a $2 million federal grant to build a community conservation center in Houserville. The site of the center will be the historic Rockenbeck Farm. Plans include renovation of the property's barn and farmhouse and restoration of streamside and agricultural land. According to Congressman Glenn Thompson, the new conservation center will help boost ecotourism and agritourism throughout the area.
Halloween is just 9 days away, and there are lots of events around Center County marking the spooky season. Gianna Brown takes you to the annual Pumpkin Festival on Penn State's campus.
Happy today, walking in a pumpkin wonder.
One of Center County's most popular Halloween happenings is the annual Pumpkin Fest at the Penn State Arboretum. The 2-day event over the weekend featured events and activities for families, friends, and students.
We're actually on a big little date for like one of our clubs. Yeah. And we thought about the Arboretum because it was like a nice little day out. And then we came here and there was like a cute little pumpkin patch and everything, and it's been really cute.
This weekend, friends and family gathered at the Penn State Arboretum for their 13th annual Pumpkin Fest. Upon entering the Arboretum, they had the chance to pick up a pumpkin passport. What's in that passport? A list of activities for them to take part in. The annual Jack-o'-lantern carving contest featured lots of good pumpkin art. Judges chose the best ones based on appearance in categories including Best in Show and Best Arboretum Theme. There were crafts, food, and live entertainment. Picker and Pawpaw strolled for over 3 hours around the event with their guitar and banjo. They've been coming here for 6 years to entertain the crowds.
Such always a lovely crowd because people came here to have a good time, and I don't do anything that's not a good time at my age anymore.
The event continued into the evening with more food, games, and activities drawing in hundreds of visitors. In University Park, I'm Gianna Brown for the Center County Report.
And speaking of Halloween, trick-or-treat night in the Center region is Thursday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m.
Thanks so much, guys. And as much as I would love to be with you guys here in the studio, I would love to be outside right now here at the Penn State Golf Courses. It is a nice, toasty 70 degrees outside, beautiful conditions on this fall day. And really, that's going to be the main headline as we go into this week. Record warmth we'll be contending with for the next few days, and we are going to stay dry because we are in an area of high pressure, but we might see some sprinkles as we go into the rest of the week. And as that high pressure and low pressure system, I'll talk about that in a little bit, move away, we'll have a nice cooler weekend on tap. So let's look at the almanac right now. Our normal high should be 58, so already we're breaking that normal high by 12 degrees. And a record high, 84, just pay attention to that and how that changes through the next couple of days. Looking at temperatures right now, 70 degrees in State College, and really throughout the entire state, we're just going to see a smattering of low 70s to upper 60s, already almost peaking at 80 degrees in Philadelphia as you go into the early afternoon, which in this time of year is just crazy to see. Satellite and radar shows not much in the state of Pennsylvania, and zooming out, you can tell that this beautiful weather is because of a high pressure system located to our south, which is bringing southerly winds coming up and bringing us those warmer temperatures. But also note a low pressure system is up to our north, so we're kind of seeing effects of that. A high pressure with beautiful conditions, and as that low pressure moves off, we'll see some rain filter into our area into tomorrow. So this is the futurecast for today. Southerly winds bring beautiful conditions today, and then this afternoon the temperatures just tell the story. 78 degrees the high at 4 p.m. and then just starting to bottom out as we go into the evening. A beautiful night on tap. Into the upper 40s, I'd say. 48 degrees with mostly clear conditions with nice calm conditions on tap. This is the future cast for Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. you could see that cold front moves through and starts to give us a little sprinkle of rain, and then another system might come by on Friday afternoon at about 5 p.m. and bring us some rain. So otherwise, for the weekend and for the rest of the midweek, it should look like a very good opportunity to get outside. This is the future rainfall, 0.01 inches, excuse me, for State College, maybe even gracing a tenth of an inch, but really just nuisance rainfall rates really for the entire northwest corner of our state. And for our 7-day forecast, like I mentioned, we'll be contending with that record heat. Actually, tomorrow we're going to potentially tie a record high for 78, which was set 4 years ago. But as we go into the rest of the week, especially into the weekend, it will cool down after we get for those showers. But listen, those high temperatures are here. Get out while it lasts.
Yeah, I'm excited for these warm temperatures and to get outside and soak up some sun.
You know, personally, fall is my favorite season, but a little warm weather never hurt anyone. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Gavin. Next up, we have Gianna Brown in sports.
Coming up in sports, we look back at a huge win for the State College High football field. Plus, new inductions to the Center County Sports Hall of Fame. That's after the break. I'm Gianna Brown with sports. Penn State football hits the road this week to face another tough challenge, a night game Saturday at Wisconsin. The Nittany Lions are still unbeaten and sitting at number 3 in the rankings. They're coming off a thrilling overtime win at Southern California and a bye week. Now onto high school football. Penn Cambria beat Bishop McCourt to stay unbeaten over the weekend. Bellwood Antis grabbed a road win over Bald Eagle. And State College shut out Carlisle 60-0 at home. After the whistle, reporter Bronwyn Leiber has more on a little lion who continues to break records this season.
Ty Salazar is collecting accolades and records along with touchdowns for State High this season. Salazar spends lots of time on the field as both a wide receiver and corner for the Little Lions, but his stats prove he makes an impact on both ends.
Honestly, it's definitely tough trying to get all the energy to come out every single drive, every single series. But I think they kind of play hand in hand. There's a lot of things that are similar. There's a lot of things that are different.
Yeah, Ty is pretty special. We have a number of those guys that really are playing on both sides, but Ty is definitely a guy that's been out there doing it for a number of years. And to have the success that he has, a pick six and 2 touchdowns on offense, and he's in on every play.
Salazar set a record just within the first quarter, already putting up 14 points.
With that second touchdown, Ty Salazar officially becomes Center County's all-time receiving touchdown leader. This is after becoming the county's all-time receiving yards leader just last week.
Both offensive touchdowns came from connections made with quarterback Eddie Corkery. Corkery says their chemistry began long ago and happens on and off the field.
During the summer, I don't think there was a day that we weren't at the turf, working, getting our timing together. And that's like my best friend.
Salazar entered tonight's game versus Carlisle with 891 receiving yards, just missing the 1,000-yard mark, with something to work for heading into their senior night game next week.
You can see highlights from the top local high school games every Friday on After the Whistle. That's at 11:30 p.m. on our YouTube channel. Penn State women's hockey swept Dartmouth in their series over the weekend. In the first game on Friday, neither team could find the back of the net. But in the third period, a pair of goals from Penn State gained the Nittany Lions a 2-0 lead and the win. On Saturday, the Lions won 4-1. They're back on the ice Friday at a tournament in Columbus, Ohio. The Center County Sports Hall of Fame celebrated its newest class of inductees at the banquet over the weekend. Reporter Jack Kiefer has the story.
After 363 days, the Center County Sports Hall of Fame welcomed its newest class of inductees. The 7th class was recognized on Sunday with a banquet at the Penn State Hotel. Board of Directors President Keith Beerley said it's a year-long effort.
I've been the president the past 2 years, and this really has turned into about a 365-day a year job. I mean, we're always in the election process.
The ceremony starts with a luncheon before friends and families of each inductee head into President's Hall to listen to speeches given from the individual inductees about their careers on and off the field. There are 11 members of this year's class. All 5 Center County schools are represented, along with some Penn State personalities. The class includes
Super Bowl champion Matt Suhey, and Penn State wrestling all-time wins leader Jim Martin, to name a few. The only non-athlete is Steve Jones. He's been the voice of Penn State football and basketball for over 2 decades.
Well, it means a lot because Center County's meant a lot to me in my lifetime. It also is an opportunity to recognize all the great people who really opened the door so I could be here today.
All of these inductees made a lasting impact on their individual programs, and now they'll forever be a part of the Center County Sports Hall of Fame. In State College, I'm Jack Kiefer for the Center County Report.
The Hall of Fame recently received a grant to find a permanent home for the Hall. The voting process for next year's class will begin in this coming months. That's all for sports. Now back to you, David Madison.
Thanks, Gianna. You know, it is so nice to see Steve Jones being recognized. It's just such a sweet moment.
Yeah, Steve Jones is a true Penn State legend.
Coming up next, a Penn State alum broke the internet after running onto the field at the LA Memorial Coliseum. The story behind the video is up next.
One diehard Penn Stater from California took his love for his alma mater to the next level. Jordan Mott, a 4th-generation Penn State graduate, and his wife Grace experienced an unforgettable game day when USC played Penn State 2 Saturdays ago. He decided to dress up in all Penn State gear after purchasing a USC package that allowed him to run onto the field with the Trojans.
Created kind of cool imagery because Penn State was obviously behind us. Looked like, in a sense, that we were leading Penn State out. And then, I mean, just screaming, "We are Penn State," and hyped up down the whole field. So, I mean, I don't think it was ever our intention going into it, thinking that it was going to become as viral as it has.
Mott said he and his family were invited by Penn State for the whiteout, and they can't wait to be here for the big game against Washington. That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Friday for our next local news update.
And you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a great afternoon.